Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today, before we get started with our weekly meal prep, I just wanted to come on for a minute and say that any small amount of meal prep is going to help you, no matter how small it is. And I know that I've talked about this before, but I wanted to use this year to give you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, and just let you know that there's no perfect way to do this. That even if you only boil some eggs and have your yogurt bought and pre-measure whatever you want to put on top of your yogurt and maybe chop some vegetables, that doesn't sound like a lot, but let me tell you, that is one or two less things that you're going to have to contend with during the week. And just by being a little prepared will help you kind of get motivated and get going. So stay tuned for more tips. I'm sure that they'll be coming along as we make it through 2024. So with that said, let's jump into my kitchen and let's do some meal prep. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to prep our chicken for the week. Now, I picked up a large package of chicken, and I think this one was 5 pounds total. So a nice big 5-pound pack of chicken is a great way to buy in bulk and prep ahead. So my plan this week is to go ahead and get this chicken prepped, get it all trimmed up, chop it up, and then get some into the freezer, as well as prepping some for today. So we're going to go ahead and get that started. I've got a cutting board here. No, I did not put a wet paper towel underneath it. I always forget to do that. And I know that you guys yell at me for that all the time, but we're just going to go ahead and get through this. So I've got my tongs here. I've got a really sharp knife, and that is one of the things that you definitely want to make sure that you have when you're trimming chicken, is a really sharp knife. So I'm trying to cut off as much fat as I can from this chicken breast, and these are very large chicken breasts. I'm telling you, they were huge. So I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting these up into smaller chunks. And I wanted to get some like smaller diced chicken for the freezer and prep for my salads. I can also throw that into rice bowls, whatever the case may be. But it seems like every time I want to do this, I never take the time to go ahead and cut up the chicken. And having this extra step prepped and ready to go is really going to save me a lot of time throughout the week. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue with this process. We'll jump ahead and I'll show you what I'm doing with that next. Okay, so as I finish up my first chicken breast, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing it into this bowl, and that is my plan, to get all 5 or 6 of these chicken breasts put into this size cubes and just continue to cube it up and then get started on baking. Okay, so I lined my pan with foil and I went ahead and sprayed it with cooking spray. And I got this really cool oil measurer from Amazon, always linked in my link below in my Amazon storefront. And it's an easy way for me to keep track of how much oil I'm really using. So I wanted to drizzle this chicken with oil today, just so that it got extra crispy in the oven, and it was going to hold the seasonings that I put on it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stir that around just to make sure that all my chicken is coated up very well. And then I'm going to start to add my seasonings on top. So today I'm going to be using the brown sugar bourbon. This is one of my favorites. I love all of the McCormick's different seasonings. They just seem to taste so good. So I'm just putting some on there. I'm going to give it a quick stir. And then I'm just going to dump that in the pan and get it into a 350-degree oven and get that going. So let's get that in the oven. Let's see what's next. All right, so I have the rest of this chicken left, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in quart-size baggies, and I'm going to throw it in the freezer so that I have it ready to go for when I need it in the future. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my husband's breakfast sandwiches done next. So I'm going to go ahead and spray both the top and the bottom with cooking spray, because if you don't do that, it's going to stick and you're going to end up having to repurchase your microwave egg cookers and you're not going to be happy. So I'm going to go ahead and get my eggs cracked, and you're going to notice that I accidentally cracked one of the eggs in the top instead of the bottom. So I'm going to dump that in the right position over there. And then I'm going to crack 2 more eggs in some side containers. And the reason why I do this is because of the fact that when I am making the eggs, I like to have sort of an assembly line going. And when you have that assembly line going, you don't have to stop, crack the eggs, put salt and pepper on them, and then continue the process. It's just like a very smooth process when you have everything ready to go. So now I'm going to add salt and pepper to my containers. And then once I get the salt and pepper added into all of them, what I like to do then is I like to just go ahead and grab a fork and just barely break up the egg. I don't like to scramble them too much, because when you scramble them too much, the consistency of the egg just comes out a little funky. It comes out more of a bigger scrambled egg, whereas I think that an egg sandwich, you want to just have the yolk kind of together. It just makes it work out better. So this is how I like to do them and get them ready. So here you see the eggs cooling along with the turkey sausage patties, and I'll put them together later. Okay, I just pulled the chicken out of the oven, and we're going to let that cool, and then I'm just going to put it in a bowl and put it in the fridge. And now I have some seasoned chicken breast ready to go for whatever I need to use it for the week. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get those put together for his breakfast this week. And you can see that I put on a half a slice of cheese, because we found that a whole slice of cheese just melts all over. I put 1 egg, 1 turkey sausage, half a slice of cheese, and then I just pop them into a container. He heats them up before he heads out the door, throws it into a paper towel, and he is good to go. So I've got these ready for him, and he's got breakfast ready to go for the next 4 days. All right, next up I'm going to throw together some Kodiak banana chocolate chip muffins. So I have my 1 1/3 cup of Kodiak mix here. And I'll see if I can pan out here for a second. It looks like this. So 1 1/3 cups of that, half cup of water, 3 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 3 ripe bananas, 3 packets of sweetener of your choice, and about 90 or 6 points of these Lily's sugar-free chocolate chips. So each muffin will be 1 point each muffin. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So each muffin comes out to 1 point. So I'm going to go ahead and mix all this together. I'm just going to mash the bananas, incorporate the eggs, put the liquids in there, throw in the dry ingredients. I've showed you guys this recipe several times before, but I definitely wanted to recap the ingredients. So I'm going to get this into, I think, a 350-degree oven for, I want to say, 20 minutes. So we'll get these done and get these out, and then I'll get started on my egg cups. All right, next up I'm going to work on my egg cups. So I went ahead and cracked 8 eggs in my Ninja blender and my Ninja blender cup. And I'm going to add in probably, I don't know, maybe a half cup. I'm going to do a half cup and see what it looks like. Maybe I'll put a whole cup in here, and I'm going to blend that together until it's smooth. Going to go ahead and chop up some mushrooms, put that at the bottom. I've got some spinach here. I'm going to put that at the bottom. And I'm just going to make some 0-point egg cups to bulk up my protein for this week, and again, have for snacks, for breakfast, whatever the case may be. But that one should be, that might be a very good mid-morning snack. So I'm gonna go ahead and start whipping these up, and I'll show you a couple of clips in between. I'm trying to keep today's video a little shorter because I know that the beginning was a little longer. So stay tuned, and I'll give you quick little updates as I'm going through. Okay, I've got that all mixed together. I put that in there for about 30 seconds on a pulse setting. So we're just going to go ahead and spray our pan because we definitely don't want these to stick. All right, that's done. And then I went ahead and chopped up some mushrooms and some spinach. We have that here. So I'm going to throw some mushrooms in the bottom of some of these. And then I'm going to throw spinach on top of that. Maybe not that much, but you know, you get just a little spinach. And then I'm just going to go ahead and top them off with egg. And I'm only going to fill them up about halfway with egg because the egg does rise a little bit. And we want to make sure that we don't overfill those. I'm just going to continue to alternate. Looks like I got the proper amount of mushrooms, which is great because I love mushrooms. And if you don't like mushrooms, change it up. You don't have to use the vegetables that I'm using here today. You can use whatever it is you like. But again, it's just a way for me to get a little more veggies in my daily diet. All right, a little more over here. All right, those look pretty good. All right, so I'm just going to take the top off. I'm gonna pour. I know this looks, oh, that's okay, it's not so bad. I thought for sure I was gonna make a huge mess. And I'm just gonna continue to fill these, and I'm gonna put these right in the oven with my muffins at 350 degrees until they look like they're done. I also put some salt, pepper, and some Mrs. Dash table seasoning in here just to give the eggs a little flavor. Probably made way too many eggs. I did end up putting 1 cup of cottage cheese in here as well too. And look, I'm overfilling these. These are going to be huge. That's what I get for trying to talk and pour and think all at the same time. All right, so I'm going to get these in the oven. I've got a little bit left over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and make up another little dish of it and use the rest of that up, and then I'll have extra eggs for the week. All right, so let's see what's next. Okay, so all I have left to do is put these away, and I'm just going to put them into a container and put them in the fridge and grab them as I need them. I had enough left over to make 2. I have 2 little small loaf pans, so I just went ahead and made 2 more. And then here is my banana chocolate chip muffins, and of course I had to taste test one, so that's why one's missing. So this is going to conclude today's meal prep. I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse into what I did this week, and hopefully I can show you a dinner or 2 this upcoming month and get back on track with my filming. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video, say thanks for watching, and we will see you next video.